Hey, I know that some of you guys are confused about this week. I've gotten a couple emails, and I've hopefully responded in a timely manner. But I'm creating this video to kind of do like a brief overview of what we're doing this week. So if you were on Google Classroom, so for example, right now I'm on period 4, but if you're in any of my freshman classes, you get the same Google Classroom. Okay. Then if you go to Unit 2, Week 10 under classwork, okay, the first thing that is on there should be the Week 10 agenda. Even if you are distance learning and you're not used to checking this, I'm going to strongly recommend that you check this every week. It kind of has a layout of what we should be doing every day, what assignments are due, just to kind of help you pace, right? So the first page is my cute little Bitmoji classroom. But my second page, all right, through page 5 is like assignments that you should be doing, and then also things that are coming up due for that day. Okay, so if you didn't already, hopefully you did. It looks like a lot of you guys have been working through it. On Tuesday, you should be doing bell work. All right, that should be the first thing that you do when you start working on my classwork. Okay, then you should be finish reading the Sailing from Troy and then starting to read the Lotus Eaters. Now, it says to take notes as you read. You are not going to need to turn in your notes. In fact, I don't think that I created a place for you to turn in your notes. These are just kind of your personal notes, all right? And it's just kind of to get you in the habit of just taking notes while you read, all right? They may help you with trying to remember what you're supposed to be reading about, and then kind of help you through those assignments as well, right? You're not turning these notes in this week. Next week, you probably will be turning notes in, okay? So for today, or for Tuesday, if you notice on the bottom here, it says assignments due this week, and it says bell work and notes over scene 1. It's not really due, the notes aren't really due, but you should be working on them, okay? On Wednesday, it says that your assignments are bell work, and then to finish reading the Lotus Eaters, all right? And the Lotus Eaters is a section of the Odyssey, so you can click on either Odyssey Part 1, which is your textbook, all right, and it'll take you to the Savas Realize website, or, which I'll start loading that now, but it takes a while to load, okay, and I understand that. I also posted a PDF, so if you're having an issue with the Savas, right, there's that PDF here, okay, and if you scroll down, we started reading, last week we started reading the prologue, which is the Sing in Me Muse, right? And then we also started reading Sailing from Troy, or, you know, you should have started reading it. And most of us finished that, all right? Then this week you're reading the Lotus Eaters, and it's another section of the Odyssey, okay? And you should be reading that. When you're done reading the Lotus Eaters, that brings you to your first assignment, all right? So going back to the classroom, we see, oh, look, it says complete the Lotus Eaters assignment on Wednesday, all right? So let's scroll down, find the Lotus Eaters assignment. It looks like most of you guys turned it in, good job, all right? And then you basically just have to answer questions about the reading. So while on Ismarus, which is from the reading, in what ways do Odysseus's men disobey the orders? What is the consequence of the disobedience? So this was from the Sailing of Troy part, right? Do you think Odysseus and his sailors will learn from their mistakes? Why or why not? And if you were in class, so if you're a traditional learner and you were in class, we kind of talked about that on Thursday, last Thursday, right? What happens to the men who eat the lotus flower? This came from the Lotus Eaters section, right? What does the fact that Odysseus's men ate the lotus flower tell you about their main problem with the crew? Is it, you know, dealing with their disobedience? Is it that they cannot trust each other? What do you think, all right? How does Odysseus react to the three men who stayed to eat the lotus flower? And was this response really fitting for a leader that Odysseus really should be, right? Odysseus is our epic hero. And should he be this brave leader? Everybody knows him as this brave leader, this like strong, very smart, very intellectually sound leader. Was that a fitting call for a leader? Okay. Then 6, so far, what aspects of the hero's journey have been met? So remember a few weeks ago, we started talking about hero's journey where they depart. Did Odysseus depart? The answer is yes. Okay. And then it kind of goes in that big old circle where he might be going through some trials. All right. What is going on with Odysseus that we have met so far on that circle of hero's journey? And if you're confused, I believe the hero's journey is from, let's see here. Yeah, unit 2, week 7. If you click on that clock assignment, or let's see. Yeah, if you click on the clock assignment and the characterization archetype hero's journey notes, it'll have slides that kind of went along with it if you're confused on what the hero's journey is. Okay. All right. So back up to unit 2, week 10. Let's assume that we finished that Lotus Eaters assignment. All right. The next assignment, if you go back to your agenda, is to start reading Cyclops. All right. And Cyclops is the next part of the Odyssey. All right. So if you were to click the Odyssey again, I'm just going to use the PDF because it's easier. All right. The Cyclops portion is kind of long. All right. So in your Savas book, it takes a while, and in the PDF, it also takes a while. Right. But there are like YouTube versions of it where it's like an audiobook. The Savas thing has an audiobook. So if you were to click the Savas Realize and go to the actual book. I have to do it differently because teacher, I guess. And then it takes forever to load. I know. I do the 2-page view because it's faster, in my opinion. All right. So if you click through the Odyssey on the Savas book, if you click this little sound button up here,
Part 1,
it plays it for you. So if you're needing an audiobook, the Savas link, which is on Classroom, all right, this Odyssey Part 1 thing, if you click on the link, it plays it for you, okay? There's a way to make it have the audio thing if you click this little audio button on the very top, okay? So if you're struggling through reading it, then that's an option, all right? So once you read the Cyclops, and I understand that it's going to take a little bit of time, so it's quite possible that this is going to get moved back to like next week. So start it this week, all right? And we'll see how many people are able to complete it, and then I'll probably end up having to move it back, all right? But you are going to complete a comic strip, or you're going to choose one of the following, all right? So you can complete a comic strip illustrating the plot of the story, and you can do this on paper and take a picture of it, or you can use like Storyboard or something and take a screenshot of it and upload it, okay? Or you can, number 2, the second option is you can write 3 journal entries from Odysseus's point of view about the story and what's going on in Cyclops. The third option is you can write 3 journal entries from Cyclops' point of view as the story is going on. What is he thinking about, feeling, seeing, create, or the fourth option is like you can create a PowerPoint slideshow or a Google Slides. Sorry, this is kind of dated, but some sort of Google slide that lists the events of the story. Each slide should have a picture and like the main event of the story kind of written out a little bit. And there needs to be at least 12 slides because the cyclops portion is kind of long, right? The fifth option is you can write a skit that follows the plot of the story. And you'll turn that script in to be kind of like marked and read out loud as if you were to be performing it. Okay. All right. So while I'm on here, I think I'm just going to change the due date for that to next week anyways for all of you guys. Okay. All right. Well, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to email me. I'll also be doing a Zoom meeting on today at 2, from 2 to 3. So it's just kind of open, and I will post that information this morning. Feel free to hop on that if you still have questions, right? So, all right. Have a good day. Happy works. Oh, one more thing. So if you did not complete your book report, which consisted of 2 parts, all right, there were annotations and then there's also the 1-pager. If you are one of the people that did not complete one or the other or both, then you did get an email from me kind of reminding you that, hey, I want that done. Please turn that in by Friday. So please be aware of that, be working on that. If that is you, if you fall in that category, I really don't want to fail you for that assignment because it is such a big assignment. You won't get the full credit because it is late, but I would rather you turn something in to me to kind of show that you have an understanding of those pieces of that 1-pager, right? So if you have any questions of anything, please email me. I'll be here until like 4:10. So, all right, bye.